Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, where we educate, motivate, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I know everyone's doing well, and everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm excited yet again because I have another extraordinary guest who is a guided meditation facilitator, spiritual mentor, vocal alchemist, professional soprano, and a whole lot more. But without further ado, allow me to introduce to you Lauren Michelle Doyel. How are you doing today, Lauren?
I'm great. Just enjoying a lovely day off, actually, with my kiddos and my family, and hanging out with all of you today.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. And I want to say before I even say anything else that I believe that I'm a firm believer that time is one of our most precious assets. And for you to choose to spend a moment of your time in the history of your timeline here with me on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, I just want to extend my sincerest gratitude to you. So thank you very much for being here at this present moment. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, yes. So let's get right into it, Lauren. Give us a little insight on you being a guided meditation facilitator. And I know you specialize in women, but just give us a little framework around that and how that came about and what you do.
So the guided meditation work was born actually out of the vocal alchemy work that I've done,
Okay.
because so much of the work that I've done with the voice has centered around helping people really connect with their inner confidence and their sense of being able to freely express themselves, and also just getting very calm and grounded in their bodies and quieting some of the noise so that they can actually hear the wisdom of their bodies and connect with what's happening
Right.
physiologically for them. Um, so a lot of the meditation techniques and the grounding techniques and things that I've developed have been all born out of like really helping people just quiet down the madness in their minds when they're
Yes.
feeling
Yes.
anxious about trying to sing something, because singing brings up a lot for people.
Right. Right. Music in general.
Um,
Yes. Singing.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes. So I primarily serve women. I have served men in the past, but for my women's circles, I primarily work with women.
Right.
And we focus a lot of attention on really bringing them back to a place of power and a place of stillness and a place of quiet and a place of
Yes.
just being able to even connect to their God frequency and
Mm,
to their highest self, to all of their sense of personal power and sovereignty.
it's
It's
amazing.
a self-healing.
Amazing, amazing. And I like to call that, and excuse me if I interrupted you, but I
No
like to
problem.
call that getting out of your own way when you
Yes.
can silence yourself and silence, like you say, like you mentioned, all that noise, that static, and
Mhm.
just get down to the bare essence and be able to tune into your God self, your higher self, your intuition, spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call it. And
Yes.
that's amazing that you are assisting others into tapping into their own uh, stillness and power.
Mhm.
Yes, that's what this this podcast is about: self-empowerment, you know.
Yes.
Yes, enlightened, empowered, evolved. Yes, so yes, definitely, that's definitely empowering when you can use your experiences, your expertise, your techniques, your y- knowledge to help people to do so, because that brings, in my perspective, balance to our lives to be able to get back and quiet our minds. And I know from my experience, including myself, that that's been a difficult thing to do and still is a challenging.
Mhm.
But I have the tools now and I'm now aware, but that still is a challenge for a lot of us to be able to quiet our mind, so much that we take in, and things that could come from, how we've been brought up or just traumas we've been through, just rear up back in our minds.
Yes, yes. Well, and also too, just like realizing that those of us who are connected to larger amounts of energy and we're designed to receive larger amounts of energy and input and information, and those of us that are creative artists, we tend to be a lot more like just porous, right? For
Yes.
lack of a better word, right? We tend to
Yeah.
be a little more porous because we are meant to receive. But the hard thing that people run into is that as receivers, we often receive unwanted things, right? We
Right.
receive a lot of unwanted input when we're young, or and we didn't really have any sense of like boundaries energetically, right? So we receive a lot of unwanted input. We take in a lot of excess. It's very easy to get distracted by those things as well and become
Right.
very scattered and feel very
Right.
yeah,
Yes.
just we
I agree.
disconnect a little bit from
Yes.
our own quiet because there's
Mm,
just so many things coming at us at once.
right.
So, yeah, the work that I do and the work that I facilitate is just helping people who are brilliant creatives and just very sensitive, open people that are
Yes.
very like intuitive, psychically, in tune, um, to find that sense of like being the lighthouse in the storm, right? Where it's like there can be all this madness going on around you. You can be separate enough to observe that madness, but not necessarily get caught in it and get like swept out to sea in a way that is harmful for you, right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it
Yes.
in a
No.
nutshell.
Absolutely amazing. And I absolutely love how you articulated and explained and painted that. I understood totally. And me
Mhm,
personally, I totally resonate with that because I am an artist. I create music. I love
mhm.
creating poems. I love creating quotes and just creating. And I am a very sensitive person. I just am. And to energy and all that. And I can tell how it affects me. And so I have to work diligently daily to balance myself, to keep
Yes.
myself balanced. I have all kinds of techniques. I'm talking about, meditation. I'm talking about affirmations, reading, classical music,
Mhm.
listening to different segments, empowering segments. Just I
Yes.
keep myself, I would say, just busy with positive energy, and also do allow myself even several times a day to quiet my mind. But at the same time, yes, it is a process, to get there. And some people probably have it where they're just easily balanced and and maybe they don't have a problem with
Mhm.
trying to keep out the noise, but I'm not one of those. Not at this point. So I have to actively be involved in balancing myself daily and shielding out and uh, eradicating,
Yes.
unwantedness, unwanted energy, unwanted thoughts, unwanted, yeah, things. So
Mhm.
amazing. Yes,
Mhm.
that's absolutely amazing. So spiritual mentor, is that along the same lines?
Yes.
Give us some
So the
framework around that.
Right. Well, so the mentorship is more, it's one-on-one. And in those containers, I do serve all genders. I serve men and women as well. And it's a much more focused, customized, like just way to connect with just your own light, your own conduit for God, your own conduit for spirit, your own like being able to really like find ways to that work for you specifically and kind of calibrate the things that you're already doing
Right,
to maximize the I don't necessarily like to say speed because it's not really about speed, but just
right,
the your ability to really sink into that at a moment's notice, um, and carry it with you so that you don't have to create like very specific rituals or circumstances or cleansing things like around it, right? Because I think that for a lot of us, the ritual and the act of really like getting into a prayerful state or a meditative state there's a lot of ritual that goes around that. And sometimes we have to really curate the circumstances, right? Like you got to turn the lights off and you got to light the
Right.
candles and you got to
Right.
set up your altar and you got to do all these things. And that's all beautiful and wonderful. But I find that for a lot of really busy artists and a lot of really busy people, like people that are really high achievers and people that are really like doing a lot, very purpose driven,
Yes.
often struggle to carve out that time and like make that time for themselves, and I work with a lot of mothers and it's the same thing, right? It's like when you're trying to, work with little children, like they're on their own schedule and you got to kind of find those moments in time where you can really come back to yourself with
Absolutely.
a quickness.
Yeah, so that's amazing. So what I'm gathering is that you help with the everyday
Yes,
person balancing,
correct. It's
that's
like
more
practical
conducive to
mindfulness.
yeah, that's really conducive to what really goes on in life, because
Correct.
everybody they don't have that time to, like you say, like you said it, curate. And
Hmm.
I curate. I light incense. I put on
Yes.
classical music,
Hmm.
and I have it playing. And I'll have a fan on so I can have a gentle breeze,
Yes.
window open, and yes. So
Hmm.
I am fortunate at this point in my life where I can do that often, and
Yes.
orchestrate and curate, like you said. I love that. Uh,
Yes,
that
exactly.
use of that word. Yes, so amazing. And so that's
And
amazing that you're able to tap into to help people, do their, like you said. It's hard not to use the word fast or quickly, but I get exactly what your intentions are.
right. And just making it more accessible so that it
Right,
doesn't feel like this thing that you have to really, yeah, that you have to force
right,
to do, right? It's something
yeah,
that you instantly have access to and something that you have
right,
all the time access
yeah,
to. Um, and it's interesting because a lot of the people that do find me are people who did grow up in very, very religious backgrounds, right?
like
And
myself.
yes, and have kind of found their own path and their own
Right,
route and way to understanding spirit and understanding source and understanding and having a relationship with that energy,
absolutely.
um, and with that collective energy too. Um, but don't, there's a lot of resistances, of course, that form in when it's a very strict or oppressive or even abusive environment for some.
Yes, yes.
But even just there's a lot of transactional things that go on, and there's a lot of a lot of abdication of power and abuse of
Mhm.
power.
Wow.
So not to say that all religion is like guilty of that, but just that
Yes,
there happens to be a lot of that as the shadow side of religion. So
absolutely. I totally agree.
yeah, so helping people like in the mentorship space, I really help people. And this is just the people that find me, but I
Right.
help people really come into relationship with God or source or creator or whatever they decide to call it, whatever resonates for them. But that higher power that's within themselves. And I help them do so from a place of sovereignty and a place of agency and a place of like, oh, I get to make the decisions about this. Like I'm in
Absolutely.
surrender, but surrender doesn't have to mean that I am powerless,
Helpless. Yes, yes.
helpless.
No, I get it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
You're in surrender, but you're also empowered.
Correct.
Yes, I am receiving and understanding exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
It's not just what you're saying, it's the way you're saying it. It's the energy that you're projecting as you're saying it. It makes it very easy to digest and understand. So it's amazing. Amazing. Yes, so that's also amazing. So also, let's go to the next one. Professional soprano. Give
Yes.
us some insight on that. I love music, so that particularly excites me because I just love music in all fashions and all
Mhm.
ways. And yes, just give us some insight and some framework around that for you, what that is
Of
for you.
course. Yeah. So I mean, I would say like singing has been kind of my original tap
Right.
into my power and into my light and my joy and my energy and just like what I share with the world. And is kind of the original thing that was what led me into the world of healing work and the world of, spirituality. It feels like my direct line to God.
Mm.
And it's something that I started doing before I could even talk. My mother told me these stories and I didn't believe her, but she has recordings of me like
Oh, wow.
babbling away, like the old like
Wow.
cassette tape recordings.
Yes, I remember those.
Yeah. Where I was just like babbling away, making baby noises, bouncing in the crib, and then all of a sudden I start singing.
Mm.
Like words and all. Um,
Wow.
so it's always something that I've loved. It's something that's been a part of me. I'm classically trained. I sang in
Oh,
choirs for
wow.
most of my life. And then I went to the Oberlin Conservatory of Music where I got my BM in vocal performance. So
Wow.
classically trained soprano. I've done a lot of like professional ensemble work. I sing with the LA Master Chorale and the LA Phil right now. I
Impressive.
sing with a couple of other things. So it's it's something that I love and it's something that brings me joy. It's not something that I need as like a full-time career.
Mm.
And it
Okay.
started out that way. But the more that I really put that pressure on it, the less fun it was. And the
Yes,
more that I
I get it.
lost the magic.
I get it.
Um, so now my rule is like if I sing anything and if I sing for anything and if I take a job, it's going to be something for a project that I love and that
Right.
lights me up, makes me happy.
Right.
Um, and yeah, it keeps me rooted in that joy and it keeps me rooted in that energy and it keeps me rooted in that play and that fun and that surrender too.
That's
Um,
amazing. That is amazing. No, go ahead. You were about to say
no,
something.
it's
No,
okay.
no, no. I resonate with that in regard to
Yeah.
your singing. I can also highlight something in my own life, like, okay, this podcast, for instance.
Yes.
This is something that I enjoy doing. I enjoy
Mhm.
engaging in dialogues and listening and learning and just getting people's perspectives and their stories and their expertise and just so much more. And I always want it to be fun. And
Yes.
this is not for to put down anyone, and I won't say any names, but I've had situations where someone is trying to direct how I should do it,
Mm.
before I get them on the show. Like, hey, you need to have another person on there with you. And no, that's not fun to me. That's not what my vision is. So I
Mhm.
had to opt out of meeting with that person because no, this is something that I have created, that I've been inspired to create,
Yes.
by the universe. Uh, and it resonates with me and it's my passion, and I don't want
Yes.
that glow to go away because you know I'm trying to people please or something like that. Not saying I'm not open
Mhm.
for any suggestions or anything like that. It wasn't
Of
that, but
course.
this was a whole redirection of how the format was going to be and everything, and I'm like, no, no. No,
You're like,
respectfully
disrespect.
decline. Yeah, respectfully decline, and I'm not the person for you. That's fine,
Mhm.
and that's
Yeah,
fine. It wasn't even a
it
negative
is.
feeling around it or a negative energy around it. It just was a gentle
It's like,
allow it to.
never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah. Never mind. Yeah, we're okay. And next.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, yes. So that's amazing. Yeah. So you actually teach vocal and all that as well?
Mhm.
Oh,
So
okay. You're
yeah, when I first moved to Los Angeles, I hit the ground running. I was doing lots and lots of different performances, and I was kind of singing anything and
okay.
anywhere.
Okay.
I was singing pop, I was singing indie rock, I was singing jazz, I was singing like classical, like over here, like it was
Oh, yeah.
all over the place. Um, but it of course wasn't very lucrative to start. So I was like, okay, I need to find a way to utilize my skills that's going to really like bring in a little bit more income, right?
Right.
So I mean, teaching seemed like the obvious choice because it was like, okay, well, I have this skill set, I can teach others how to do it. Um, and it ended up becoming this accidental passion, this accidental, like, it was something that I went to because it was like, well, that makes sense. I'm a singer. Like, I should
Right.
teach other people how to sing.
Right.
And I ended up loving it just as much as
Right.
performing, like helping people really tap into that energy of
Mm,
themselves and really
right.
express themselves and learn the different technical skills that they needed to open up their voice in ways
Mm,
that they really did not think were possible.
wow.
Because the clients that I continue to serve and the clients that I've always served have been people that really had no professional aspirations, but just really loved the idea of being able to sing and being able to do so with confidence and being able to do so without feeling like they were going to have a panic attack in front of, like, their
Oh
friends
yeah,
and family or
that's a whole,
whatever.
yeah, that's a whole different ball game. Okay, they're singing
Totally.
and then they're singing in front of people.
Correct.
Because I'm an
So like
amazing singer in the
vocal,
shower, you know.
yeah, exactly.
Now, if you can figure out a way to get the shower on stage without me knowing that yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how that would work.
I mean, and a lot of the people that I work with are they love the idea of kind of testing their edges and seeing what's possible, whether they
Right,
have, regardless of what beliefs they have around it. It's like, I believe I'm a crap singer,
right, right,
but I would really like to see if it's possible for
right.
me to improve this. And I've had people just get their minds blown with like how a
Mm,
few little physical things and a few little energy tools and a few little things that they can do to open themselves up, like
right.
how much that affects just their overall ability to not only sing on pitch, but sing with power, sing with conviction, sing with freedom, sing with
Yes,
ease.
yes,
Um,
yes. I
yeah, so there's such a joy that I receive just from watching people blow up their limitations and their
mm,
preconceived ideas around what singing can be like for them. It's like it
right.
doesn't have to be hard and it doesn't have to sound bad. And it's like, well, what does sounding bad even mean? What does it mean to be a good singer at all? Like,
Yes,
what about being an authentic singer?
right.
There's a lot there.
Yeah, there is a lot there, and
Yes.
just like they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Same
Mhm.
with singing.
Correct.
There's lots of singers out there that make millions of dollars. That there's still people out there that don't like their voice. I
Yeah.
mean, so
It's
hey,
so personal.
yes, that's right. So
Like, yeah.
amazing. So I know that you may charge high dollar amounts to get a sample of your voice, but do you think we can get like a little 5-second sample here? Or I
I
mean, you
mean,
talk, yeah,
I could. I'm not
okay, I would love it.
particularly warmed up. I haven't sung yet today, but I don't
Okay,
know. What do you want to hear?
just anything, just
Anything.
anything.
The wide open realm
Yeah, yes.
here.
I hope I didn't put you on the spot. If so, you can decline. I understand. You can, or you just direct us to a site to hear you. But yeah, while we're here, hey, why not? It
Hmm.
doesn't hurt to ask.
I'm just thinking, like, what would be a good one to play with?
Mm,
Hmm. I don't know. I've been singing lullabies all day to my daughter.
okay,
She's
let's hear.
obsessed with it. My daughter loves like Over the Rainbow. She loves
Oh, I love
Stay
over.
Awake from Mary Poppins. That's a big
Oh,
one
I
that she
love Mary
loves.
Poppins. I love Over the Rainbow by Judy Garland. See,
Yes.
I know. That's one of my favorite
You
movies from
know.
childhood is Wizard of Oz.
Hmm.
Yep,
Sure.
love that movie.
Let's do a little tiny bit of Stay Awake because that one's
Okay,
just right here.
all right. I'll close my eyes and listen.
Stay awake. Don't rest your head. Don't lie down upon your bed while the moon drifts in the sky. Stay awake. Don't close your eyes.
Wow. Amazing. That was totally amazing. And it sounded like I was listening to watching an epic movie like Mary Poppins or something like that. See, yeah. Julie Andrews. Yes.
Mm,
Amazing. Beautiful. Thank you very much. I
gosh,
appreciate
of
that.
course.
Yes, yes. So,
Phlegm and all. We'll take the phlegm, right? Like
Oh yeah, no, it sounded amazing.
Oh, thank
Amazing. I
you.
really did. Yeah, I love it. Very soon. And you said stay awake. It was not putting me to sleep in a bad way, but relaxing. Yes.
Soothing. Yes,
Very moving,
soothing.
very soothing. Just from that little, I can imagine when you really open up. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Amazing. While we're here, can you give us some links that people can reach you in regard to your coaching women, or
Yeah,
share
so
various links with us audibly?
yes, do you want me to go ahead and drop them in the chat, or
No,
what's the
no,
best
just
way?
no,
Speak them
I will,
aloud?
yeah, yeah, just go ahead and say them
Okay.
audibly here, but they will
Um,
also be, I will incorporate, you sent me the links as well. I'm going to put
yes,
them in the description of the segment as well, so they'll get it, but I always have my guests say it too.
yes.
It might be
So
redundant, but
that's all
it's
right.
something I
Hey,
feel
we
like
all
doing.
consume content in different ways. So,
Exactly.
yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Singing and Soul Work LLC. You can also find me on Facebook under the same alias. It's just Singing and Soul Work without the LLC. Um, and my website is singingandsoulwork.com.
Singing and soul work.
Correct. Singing and Soul Work
Soulwork.com.
dot
Wow.
com.
I love that. I love that name.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. So yes, Lauren, before we conclude this segment, are there any other things that you would like to share that I didn't touch upon, or any last words of encouragement, anything that you just like to share before we close out?
Um, Sure. Well, just a little blessing for anybody who's listening, and a quick little just like prayer of gratitude for all of
Yes,
you who are tuning in today.
absolutely.
Um, I'm so thankful that I get to be a part of this platform, that I get to speak and help others, empower others to speak their truth and express their truth and sing their truth and connect with their inner power, their inner sense of self, and just I'm just so grateful to be able to spread that light and spread that joy to the world. And I really hope that all of you have the most blessed, beautiful, epic day.
Amazing.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Lauren. I appreciate you. Thank you for bringing your tremendous value here to the platform and giving it
Yes.
more energy and more dynamic and more value. Just thank you very much for bringing your unique, authentic self here. I appreciate you very much.
It was a pleasure, Lute. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, yeah. Thank you for putting that cherry on top and giving us a little bit of them vocal skills. Loved it. Loved it.
It was a
Yes.
pleasure.
Yes, I could go on and on, but it brought me back to um, my childhood at the drive-in watching the movie and listening to that song. It
Hmm.
brought me, I remember, I can see it exactly where I was, falling asleep, in and out of
Wow.
sleep, watching the movies. I remember the pigeon lady, all that. It just brought back a lot of, yes, amazing. That is absolutely
Brings
amazing.
out the inner child, right?
Yes, it does. It does. Amazing. I just want to thank everyone else for being here and watching and supporting this podcast and this platform, and me and my guests. Thank you very much for spending some of your time here, and yes, for your support, like I said. And be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button wherever you are, and leave comments, questions, whatever, likes, especially. And check out the Enlightened Empowered Evolve website as well at 333empower.com. Appreciate you. Love and appreciation. Until next time, see you soon. Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved.